Nothing wrong with that. So what's up? What we discussing? We discussing black women getting slammed by black cops.
You making it sound bad. He could have tased her to get to get her to cooperate. And if she had some health issue, then she could have ended up dead, and everybody would have been looking at the cop like he was a bad guy, and not sitting back saying, "Yo, you failed to cooperate. All he asked you to do was sign the citation." All of this could have been avoided.
Right. Yeah. That's always a possibility. When you're dealing with them tasers or any type of physical altercation, she could have fell down, hit her head, anything could have happened. He could have fell down, hit his head, and anything could have happened, So yeah, I think she was really mad because the cop messed up her action, man. I think like she was really enjoying herself, and when the cop came, like, yeah, you don't see what I'm doing? You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
I think
she's trying to make something happen here.
It could have been. It could have been, but once again, that sense of entitlement, you look at her like, it was just a bad look. And now they have all this drama. She got all this infamy because she just didn't know how to control herself. And I think it's a teachable moment because so many people should see that and say, you know what? Let me de-escalate and diffuse rather than engage. And once again, a lot of people don't sit back and look at the potential consequences of their actions. And things could easily go left field at any given time.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a real type of nonchalant guy. So, just based off how I normally am, like if I seen a couple doing their thing, they ain't really bothering nobody. I'm not gonna say I would have allowed them to stay in the park. But I would have just let them go on their way. Like I see, it was no big deal. You know what I'm saying? They out there, okay, it's past park hours. I would have rolled up, like, look, the park closed. And you know what's crazy? One thing I forgot to mention when I did my breakdown, that actually happened to me a month ago. The same situation. The only thing that was
after hours.
Okay, so the only difference in that situation is when it happened to me, I was on the phone with a female. She wasn't with me in person, but she stayed on the phone with me while that same situation happened. After park hours, because usually when I get off work, I'll go to the park and just hang out or I'll go work out. So I'm just sitting in the car on the phone though, but it's after park hours, it's dark. They roll up on me, flash their lights on me. It's two white officers. So she stayed on the phone with me. I'm like, man, they just came. And I had just said, man, I need to leave up out of here. Police gonna come. And maybe like 3 minutes after that, they came. Flash they light up on me. Check my ID. Talk to me, friendly conversations, very brief conversation, but friendly. Checked out my ID, gave me my ID back, and then they said, all right, have a nice day.
Yeah. My understanding is officers do have discretion.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows why this officer chose to go the route that he did, but it was within his discretion. He wasn't breaking the law, but nonetheless, she still escalated it in the end. And maybe
because she was not compliant, or why was she escalated it?
Once again, everything is speculation. I don't know this woman personally for me to speak about her, but I just look at it like a lot of this stuff could be avoided. And I hate seeing that sense of entitlement because we, like you said, initially, from what you saw, you were ready to jump through the screen because you were emotional and furious. You're like, oh, this is mistreatment. We're abusing these women.
Yep.
And no, she was the aggressor. And we have to start holding people accountable and saying, no, just because you're a woman, just because you're elderly, just because you're 15, just because you got one leg or whatever your issue is, you are still expected to conduct yourself in a certain manner that's not going to create a hostile environment. Now, everybody got the right to protect and defend themselves, but this wasn't one of them situations. I know people would be looking like, yo, he talking about the police and defend them. He must be the police. And I don't know how I feel about that. But I got law enforcement in my family. I got friends who are law enforcement. And,
Yeah. Like I got cousins and uncles, police force 10, 15, 20 years. So I'm never the one to just, badmouth police officers. in this particular situation, I think he was just doing his job thoroughly, extra thoroughly, and I think that by her not being more compliant, he was like, all right, look, if you ain't signing this ticket, you going to jail. And pretty much, I'm tired of even going back and forth with you about it. So let's go on and get the jail thing going on. So,
yeah. And the thing is, because her boyfriend or the guy, he was compliant, he's probably thinking like, well, you know what? He already signed. If you're not going to follow that lead, I don't have the energy for all this extra stuff right here. I'm within my right, within my position and my authority to go ahead and detain you. So once again, now we got this whole fiasco because somebody don't know how to act, man.
Now, after she said, "Okay, Mr. Brooks, I'm gonna go ahead and sign it," do you think he was still right to go ahead and just arrest her?
I'm gonna tell you the funny thing. Yeah, he was. But the funny thing is, I felt like that was condescending.
Definitely.
Right?
I said, did I say that?
And
I said she was being disrespectful, low key, by calling him Mr. instead of officer.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I just look like, yo, you just doing so much. And the way that she would pivot with her demeanor, one moment you would pain your shoulder, this, that, third, then the next moment you calmly, I get my cell phone. Then, it was such an act, right? And I hate it because I've seen that in real life where people will be an aggressor and then you do a little something and then they play victim for an audience, and that's what she was doing.
To this particular situation, I do think she was being more dramatic than she was being just more dramatic. It wasn't authentic. You know what I'm saying? It was a little acting going on up in there. It was a little acting.
She's actually an actress.
Oh, word? Well, she's not a good actress because we all saw it was fake.
So she's an actress, like for real?
Yeah, she acts out there in Atlanta. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was an opportunity then for her. Shit,
she's auditioning.
Now it makes sense. You know, I'm not even no more. Like, it's cool now. You know what I'm saying? She used it as an opportunity to come up. You know what I'm saying?
Remember, she started calling for Jesus and everything else when she was on that crowd.
Yo.
Oh, Jesus, help me. I was like, oh, baby girl, you doing the most right now, baby girl.
Crazy. Hey, and you know what? The cell phone thing, when she's like, can I have my cell phone? I was like, oh my God. And what was so crazy about it, like, what you need your cell phone for and your hands is cuffed? Like, what you gonna dial with your nose? What you gonna do with it? You know what I'm saying?
Time she asked for a cell phone, she became composed.